What's up, people? Um, yeah, I'm on my way from the. I've been up there all night with my mother. So far, they came in and gave her antibiotics, and then they have this tube, this needle thing. I believe I don't know what you call it. Um, it's a thing that stick into you because she has like the feeding tube on her. But she's doing good. She's doing really good. Uh, I have to give it to you. They takes care of them pretty good, pretty okay, a little bit better than they did at them other places that she been in, like the hospital and the so-called healthcare facility over there. But you still have a few that probably gonna be a kind of bit annoying or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, they come in and they turn on like every 2 hours and stuff like that. I would say I give them a little credit. It's a little bit better than uh, a whole lot, a little bit better than the average hospital or organization or nursing home. Well, it's not a nursing home. It's similar to it, but it's not. It's similar to a hospital, but it's not. But it's like a healthcare facility where they treat wounds and sores and bruises and stuff on you. Um, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get right into the point of this video. I go by your by I go off of your mindset. I go off of your mindset. That's the name of the video. I go off of your mindset. I was talking to this like kind of older white woman. She might be about six. You know, white folks, they look older, but they be younger. They look old. They older in age, but they younger, but they look older than what they do. Uh, she was saying, although she look like she about, I don't know, she looked like she ought to be about 70. But we was talking, and I was telling her about one of the, I don't know what the fuck he is. He might be one of them head damn nurses that is so-called white men. I saw his motherfucking ass there this morning when uh, maybe about 3 hours before I left. Because I had went into the other room and went in there and kind of like went to the bathroom or something like that this morning. Just, you know, they got a lobby out in the front where they got snacks and bathroom and all that stuff. So I saw his ass sitting up there at the front desk. And I'm like, oh shit. Just like that. And I just seen him a couple of days ago. So when I went to interacting with him, I thought he was kind of, because that's why I don't trust white people, so-called white people. And as he was talking, and I understand you got to do business with him anyway, you know, still, but I don't hold no conversation with people. I just, if it's all about, if it's business, we all right. But just talking to you and just want to invite you into, look, all right. But anyway, he went to I told him that really I'm a minority. I don't put my people. I don't believe in sticking my people, calling up and putting them in an organization and sticking them in an organization just because I'm taking care of my own family members, because that's just something that I can't help. That it's just in my DNA to do. Now, the average person will do that. The vast majority of we have vast majority of our people think like that. You know, they'll do it in a minute. You know, it's not to whatever reason, reason why they do it. That's not what I'm here for. All I know is that I don't fit in with the majority. I fit in with the minority. I don't fit in with the majority. There's a difference. And he came. I was trying to explain to him that I just don't believe in doing that. You know what I mean? We have people on my father's side. We have a family history on my father's side to where we just don't do that. We don't hand our people over to organizations and stuff. That's why I come up here every day to see my mom. That's why I'm up here every day. And I'm up here. That's why I be up there every day and all night. And I sleep, but I wake up to see exactly. I ask him if I can, what is that? Now, if something don't lead me that, you know what I'm saying? But most of the time I try to ask questions, what is that? You know what I'm saying? What is that you giving them? You know, I just ask questions anyway. Just be careful for nothing. And I was telling this older lady this morning what I was telling her. I said, well, I don't like the one so-called Jonathan. Um, he's not a good nurse. They say because I'm saying it because they say if you have a nurse that's not, if you feel that you're not comfortable with them, you can always request another nurse. And that's what I did. So I told her that. She said, well, yeah, she this is what she said. So-called white woman, kind of old, looked like she about 70. Well, you know, when you get the younger, well, you know, the younger generation is different from the older generation and things of that nature. And that's why you see me, I got this up in here. The title that you see said, well, the older generation uh is just much different. The younger generation, boom. I said, this is what I told her. I said, I go by your mindset. With me, it's all about the mindset to me. That's the point I wanted to get to. And that's why I named this video what I named it. I go off of your mindset. I don't go off of no damn ego. You got a lot of you just, if you're a Caucasian, you just a devil in general. It's not about your age, it's not about that. It's just based off of your mindset. It's just, and some people in some cases just based upon your DNA, who you is. Now, sometimes in some instance, it can be about your mindset. If our people was trained and taught and conditioned to be like the Europeans and stuff, of course they're going to be like that. Because we learned these other ways from the heathens. We learned how to hate each other through the white man, the white woman, and children and different things like that. Because our children pick it up from the so-called white children. And that's how they learned it. Our people over time, graphically, they learn how to hate each other because they see that the so-called white people have a certain advantage that we don't, and they notice a difference, and then they be like, well, I want to be like this here. So it make them have a superiority complex, and that's how you got to get a lot of this this hatred in our people. It developed because they see how the so-called white kids and all the other people behave and stuff like that, and they hang around it, then they pick it up. This is all in the Bible. The Bible says evil communication corrupt good manners. When it talks about that, that's a history in the Bible. That's going into the black people, how we get around these heathens, these so-called white people, these East Indian people, whoever people, any of the slave masters that had anything to do with putting our people, the children of Israel, into slavery. If you look in the Bible, if you look in the book of Judges, our people if you look at Israel, Israel wanted to be like the heathens around them. So that's where I'm going back to. We learned, that's why I told that so-called white woman is that I disagree with that to an extent, but to an extent I don't disagree with it. You see what I'm saying? Because our people done learned the ways of them. Now, if you want to watch this video, you keep jumping in and out, you got to go back and watch the whole thing. Because a lot of people don't take time and get the context of what I'm saying, and then you got to go, you know what I'm saying? You got to take time and get the context of what people are saying. You know? You got to take time to get the context of what people are saying. You can't just jump in, jump off, and jump on and jump. You ain't gonna learn shit. And that you know that this is what's wrong with our society today. Instead of people doing their damn research, they hear a little something and blah, 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 click off of it. Can't do that. That's how I learned what I learned. I learned, you know, you got to listen sometimes. You can't jump on and jump off. You ain't getting full context. Now, I ain't going to go back and repeat myself. I'm not doing that. But anyway, yeah, our people learned these ways from the other nations. Yeah, they learned these ways from the other nations, and that's why our people do this. Because think about it, what I said. Our kids go to school, and they see the so-called white kids. Why is they living better? They notice a difference. They're like, okay, I'm living like this. We living in Shamha, but I noticed that they don't struggle with nothing. And they see the white kids start hating on them. and to side with them and be with them because they want to feel more superior. They like, oh well, you ain't got to hate me. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Don't hate me. It's because they want to be like the other nation. That's the same thing Israel was doing in the Bible, in the book of Judges. They was copying the other nations. They wanted to be like the other nation. And this is why people, Uncle Tom's, Coon, sell out, all that type of stuff. That's how it developed. And we learned these ways from the other nation. And the lady was telling me, oh, well, you know, the so-called white woman. I was telling her that I don't really like the so-called white man. He called himself Jonathan, I believe Cynthia, which is a woman's name any goddamn way. You know, so it's just something fishy about that. But so on and so forth. You know how them white folks here. They believe in all that crazy feminine shit. But I was talking to her, and she was like, well, you know, the younger generation is different from the older generation. I said, well, I go by your mindset, me. With me, it's more so about your mindset because I met a sister, a black woman. Shout out to that black woman. I don't know her name. I don't know if she gonna ever come back there and work. But in my honest opinion, she gave good vibe. I loved it that. I was helping her out. She was very genuine about everything. She listened to me. She heard me out when I was telling her about Black history, well, and just going into different things. She didn't, oh, you better not do all this here around the so-called white people. No, she wasn't doing it. She was trying to feel and understand where I was coming from. And I loved that, how she was listening, because I wanted her to know a history about where she come from. And you know what I'm saying? Because the devil ain't going to give you a damn history. The white folk, they ain't going to tell you, oh, we are the devil and y'all the chosen people of God. They're not going to tell you that. You know, she took out time and listened, and she probably, I would say, in my honest opinion, she might be by maybe 20, 21. She looked very, you know, you can see she's young, but I could see she had a very mature shoulders on head, in my honest opinion. If I'm not mistaken, in my honest opinion, I don't know that much about her, but 2024. So that's significant. That's really okay. And maybe that's why she understood more. She was able to relate because she'd been through it. That's what I'm thinking. You know, see, if you've never been through nothing, you'll never be able to relate to this. White folks will never be, they would never be able to so-called white people is in here, and she didn't do all that. But the other black woman there, she was like telling me, "Ooh, they gonna hear that up in there and all that kind of stuff," because they trying to keep it. I mean, I wasn't trying to break your bread and butter, sister. Me, I'm just honest. I just keep it real, me. I tell you to your face how I feel. Just like the so-called white man that was up in there, he was pretty young. I'm gonna say about 30 something. He may not even be 30. Because you know, but he's a young white boy, white man or whatever, whatever you want to call it. I got up and went into the lobby with a snack where the bathroom at. I said, shit, he in here. What's the point of us talking? You're already a snake. Poisonous snake out here, and it's a spitting cobra's poisonous snake, and this snake will bite you and put venoms in you. Why would I want to just beg that snake to do what I wanted to do, when God automatically said and created that snake is to be that snake? Why would I want to try to make it be something that it's in its DNA? That's the identity of it. That's the origin of it. It's in their DNA. It's in their blood. You can't take what's in the blood out of them. So what's the point? What would be the point of me trying to debate the snake and try to make the snake nice? What would be the point of that? You tell me that. Tell me that. What's the point? You ain't serving no damn purpose. Well, at the end of the day, I'm trying to sit there and convert that snake to be what I want it to be. I'm making myself look stupid. I'm making an ass out of myself at that point. Because no matter how I try to make it nice or make it a good snake, it's in the DNA of the snake to be what it is. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Whatever you was created to be, I don't care how much damn bleach you use, you still gonna be a so-called Caucasian man. You can be a Chinese. If you're a so-called black person, if you're a so-called Creole, French Creole person, just like me, I consider myself as, like, I would say French Creole or whatever. You know, if you're a damn, if you're French, you can't wash that out your blood. I don't care how many gallons of bleach you use. You ain't gonna erase that DNA with that bleach pond. That DNA is one thing. It'll clean some shit now. It'll clean stains. It'll get stains out your clothes. But one thing that damn bleach can't do, that bleach cannot get rid of your damn nationality. It cannot erase what's in that blood. Nah, I don't get shit. It ain't gonna do shit. It'll get the stain. It'll put a stain in your shit now. But it ain't gonna put a stain in your blood and take that DNA or take that stain out, that culture out of there. Hmm. One thing, it ain't gonna do it no good. That bleach can say goodbye. Bleach ain't gonna get it, partner. Your bleach, your 10 gallons of bleach ain't gonna wash shit away. Not your DNA or who you are, your ethnicity. Care how much you try. It'll keep your goddamn house clean and smelling and keep the damn insects out of that motherfucker. But it ain't gonna wash that damn bloodline out of it. That's one thing bleach can't do, partner. Bleach ain't gonna erase that. It ain't gonna erase that identity out of you, who you is, by blood. Like I tell people all the time, I say, yeah, people, when I tell them, oh, they be surprised, like, oh, you doing it, you having it. Look, I tell them like this here. Look, I'm not focusing on no family, what somebody not doing. My main focus is I don't give a damn. I'm getting my mother well. It ain't about, well, does family come and support you and all that. No, I'm not focusing on that. What other people are, what they ain't. I don't care about that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna throw my hands up and say, well, since I don't got no help. That's what they want you to say, I believe. But they think it's weird. Like it's like, and that's why I don't like talking to them either. It's like they be trying to put words in your mouth. Well, you need some help. You need to stick. It's like if they trying to say you need to stick them in a facility. You can't do it by yourself. That's too much work. Look, you can't tell me what I can and cannot do for my family. That's my blood. That's my mother. I would do the same if it was my father. And for two, that's in my DNA. I've been like this ever since as far as when I was 18, 19, 20, and 21 years old. I always had a desire to take care of my black people in the community, in the African American community. But I didn't know nothing about black history and Hispanic and Native American history. I was far from that. I didn't know nothing about God having a chosen people, none of that. All I know is that I just had a love for my community. That's it. And I didn't understand why. You know, I'm just one of those people that's not in the majority. I'm in the minority. I'm a different, I feel like I'm a different kind of person. You know what I'm saying? But most people be sitting there talking about, well, it was just too much for me. I got to work. I got to do this and I got to do that. Fuck that shit. No, it ain't no job or no work more important than my family. making sure my family getting back into good health. And it's like when you tell so-called white people that, it's almost like, why you got to keep repeating yourself? It's like they trying to force you to say, well, you need this, you need home and health, which I'll get it. But at the same time, don't try to force me or put words in my mouth and say, well, you need help, you need this, that's a lot of work. And like, I don't need shit. I just need to stay faithful and keep doing what I'm doing, and the Most High God gonna see me through. That's all I need to do. So don't force me is to say something or try to put words in my mouth. Like if you trying to force me to say, hey, I'm a sticker in the nursing home, that's what the fuck you thinking. No, don't force me or put words in my mouth. That is not what the fuck I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. And today I'm still bringing my ass back. And once I clean myself up, eat, freshen up and everything, guess what? I will be back up there today. And I'm gonna be there overnight, every night. Yes, I am. Yep. So, so-called white people, the devil, the Bible speaks of, don't force me, stop forcing me to say something. You can't put words in my mouth because that ain't what I'm saying. I know that's what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to put words in my mouth. Stop it. Don't put no words in my mouth. That ain't what the fuck I'm saying. It's almost like when you're talking to him like that, like I said, the white guy, the so-called white man, as I was sitting there telling him, I don't believe in it, like what I'm talking about now, he was sitting up there and I just met him the first day. I said, I'm not talking to this motherfucker no more. No, I'm not talking to him no more. But that day, you know what I told him? I said, look, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I told him just like this. This was about 2 days ago. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, I don't want to talk no more. Yeah, that's what I told him. And then I feel like he came in there yesterday, but he ain't coming there this time today. I feel like he was trying to make a pick at me. And you know white folks will do too? They'll try to sit up there. Now, them motherfuckers, they get angry when they know that you really give a damn black people, Hispanic people, and Native American care about their offspring and stuff. That pisses them off. Oh yeah, that pisses them off. But I don't give a fuck. Because they know we better, we stronger than they are when it comes to trials and tribulations and all of that. Hell, they'll get around, they'll unalive their people. We don't have that in our DNA. And if you do find our people involved in that, is that, like I said earlier in this video, it's a learned damn behavior. Go back and watch the beginning. You'll see I said this. All of it is a learned behavior. We don't do shit like that. We're strong. We are strong. The Bible even tell you that. Read Genesis 25 and 21. It says one people will be Jacob and Esau. Jacob will be stronger than Esau. Go read it. One people will be stronger than the other people, and the elder will serve the younger. The elder was Esau, the so-called white man. Which nation that run the fastest, play ball better than anybody, play sports better? The black man, Hispanic and Native American man can get down with it. Cooking and everything. We don't cook our food rare. We don't eat our food like, man, If I get a steak, not a steak, I don't eat that no way. If I get a piece of chicken, which I cook a lot, and if it ain't done, that shit going right back in there so it can be completely cooked. We don't eat our food like that. That's how you know we're different. We're not the same people. The Bible even tell you that. But yeah, they'll try to sit up there. They be angry about that shit. Oh, this motherfucker really care about his family. That pisses them off. And when you stand up to them, it sure enough pisses them off. They don't like that. But I'm praying and asking God to protect my mother while I'm going home and watch over all of our Hispanic and Black and Native American people that well, I don't think the Hispanics, they don't put their people, a lot of them don't put their people in a nursing home. I haven't seen too many Hispanics and old Hispanics in no nursing home. I really haven't. You may have a very few that's in there, and it probably might be because the whole family, some of the family, the older generation died off, and they ain't had nobody, and no family, no uncles, no cousins, no nothing. Everybody gone except them. That might be the only reason why. But other than that, they they don't they stick with their own kind. They don't do that. More so the black people, the so-called black nation, our people mostly do that, you know, because they've been conditioned to do so, not to care. Yeah. I kind of like dogs. Not, I'm not really like, yeah, they'll probably try to bite you if you ain't want you run from them or something like that. Yeah, I mean they God's creation. I like them to an extent. I used to like them a lot when I was young. I used to have about 4 of them. But since I gotten older, I really didn't too much care for them. I care for them as far as like if I see one stray and small and I lost weight and they ain't got no food, I don't mind like throwing some food out there. But when you start doing that, they're gonna come around, you know. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that I wouldn't want to own a dog. You know what I'm saying? But I would, probably try to, like get them a, I feel like since I gotten older, I'm not as much into them like I used to. I'm into them, but I'm not really just deeply into them like that. But like I said, if I see one that's hungry and lost weight or something like that, I'll throw some food out there and give it to them. I like them to an extent. I ain't gonna lie, I do. I like them to an extent. To a certain extent, is what I'm telling you. Yeah. But yeah, they don't like that. White people don't like it when you are really when you really tight with your family and shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't like that. When they see you don't have a spirit, you ain't passionate about sticking them in the nursing home, and you passionate about taking care of them, that shit don't stir them up and piss them off. Especially what's gonna make it worse, if you stand up to them and say, hey, look, you're not gonna handle me like that. That's my family. You gonna either respect my family members or hey, it ain't gonna be no conversation, ain't gonna be none of that. Just do what you gotta do when it comes to business. That's it. I ain't trying to be your friend. I ain't trying to do none of that. It's just about business here. That's it. Yeah, and you're gonna respect my space or something like that. Or that's my family member, it ain't yours. Yep. Because I'm here looking out for it because nobody else. Even David in the Bible looked after the sheep. David in the Bible looked after the sheep. He was feeding his father's sheep. David took care of his father's sheep in Bethlehem. Yeah, he was taking care of the sheep. But yeah, that woman, she was saying, well, the older generation is kind of a little harsh. It'll be like that. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's all about the mindset. I was letting her know. I said it like this here. You know what? I go by your mindset. You know, when I said that, it was like she didn't want to talk no more. I see you later, like that. When they see you talking with something that they're talking with some sense, and they figure they can't pull that BS over you, they gonna get away from you. And that's how I took it. So I go off of your mindset. That's what I named the video. So I'm out. Let me go ahead and close it out now. So leave me, keep it out.